I'm a screamer.
Westerns made over the last century plus have entertained us fans. There are a few that actually attempted to not only entertain, but also be as authentic as possible. Obviously, not to the extent of a documentary, but they wanted to make the tradition and detail be as much a character of the movie as the leading man. Today we will celebrate and take a look at some of these Western gems. If you enjoy this video, hit the notification button to get my new videos. If you want to check out my many other videos, head over to my channel. The link is in the description. Let's get into it. The Gunfighter, 1950. Even if a Western failed on many levels, the look of the main character could still be perfect. Gregory Peck in The Gunfighter. As one Western fan said, the Western was taught in college as an example of film drama and structure. 7 12-minute scenes, a total of 84 minutes. An unusual character study for a time when Westerns were usually shoot-em-ups. I think it fit in with the 1952 Westerns Viva Zapata and High Noon, but mostly forgotten today.
He drew first.
Shane, 1951. Some early Westerns don't get enough credit for trying to be authentic, but Shane is another film that tried to get it right. Great movie and very authentic looking. Van Heflin and Alan Ladd became firm friends during the making of the film. In later years, Heflin's wife said, one of the very rare times she ever saw her husband cry was when he learned of Ladd's premature death. Little Big Man, 1970. Jack Crabb, Dustin Hoffman, meets Wild Bill Hickok, Jeff Corrie, in a saloon. Crabb reaches out his right hand to shake Hickok's hand as old friends. Hickok grabs Crabb's right hand with his left hand, so that his own right hand is free to reach for his gun, just in case. A really nice touch, which is probably missed by almost every viewer except those of us who know about Hickok. Monty Walsh, 1970. Monty Walsh, with Lee Marvin. Although Marvin and Jack Palance were a bit long in the tooth to play cowboys, they were no worse than the 200-plus pound cavalry troopers. But Monty Walsh deals with so much more. The end of an era. Walsh is having a hard time of it. He wants to move on, but doesn't know how. He has a code, and he can't break it. The last scene kind of says it all. Walsh is alone. He's taking a bead on another one that is outliving his time. A wolf. Once again, he comes full circle. Walsh drops the carbine from his shoulder and asks, "Did I ever tell you about Big Joe Abernathy?" But no one is around to hear his story. He's the last of his kind, just like the wolf. The Culpeper Cattle Company, 1971. The Culpeper Cattle Company, the story of a young man's coming of age during an 1866 cattle drive. The boy, played by Gary Grimes, talks a gruff trail boss into giving him a job, but soon finds being a cowboy isn't the romantic life he imagined. An accurate portrayal of the bloody, violent, post-Civil War period, warts and all. The theme melody by Jerry Goldsmith is the same as another film scored by Goldsmith, The Flimflam Man, 1967. McCabe and Mrs. Miller, 1971. The town being built as the movie opens is quite authentic, showing walls and roofs unfinished, and boards hanging out. I like it when we see McCabe, Warren Beatty, sewing his shirt. When was the last time you saw Clint Eastwood or John Wayne sewing? In the saloon, people are talking over each other, and you can see their breath. It's that cold. In fact, what's really great about this Western is the weather. The snow, freezing conditions, and heavy overcoats. It's authentic weather in a Western. Some Westerns get called out for having bad hats or incorrect weapons for the times they are portraying. Here, the geography is dead on. Bad Company, 1972. A group of naive boys find that life as desperados in the West is more serious than they understood when they embarked on abortive careers in bushwhacking, violence, betrayal. Somber colours mark this ironic Western. From the opening scene, when boys are shanghaied into fighting in the Civil War, even though they are trying to escape conscription by dressing as girls, to the scene where the leader of the gang of teenage desperados skins a rabbit for the first time. The film is crammed with episodes that startle and enthrall with their realism. Ulanas Raid, 1972. While the costumes in Ulanas Raid are less than perfect, especially for the cavalry, the gritty script has no US colours flying over a column of hundreds of horse soldiers as they charge with sabres. Instead, a small patrol doggedly follows a frustrating trail of an equally determined, frankly more savvy, Apache enemy. While brutal, the picture is no Sam Peckinpah bloody ballet of carnage. As for Burt Lancaster, he nails the white frontier scout, modelled after Al Seba, a literary figure who could be traced back to James Fenimore Cooper's leather stocking model. Lancaster had a bit of a dress rehearsal for the role, playing the title character in Valdez is Coming from the previous year. Heaven's Gate, 1980. In 1890 Wyoming, James Averill was the sheriff of Johnson County, which is largely inhabited by foreign immigrants. The wealthy cattle owners view their immigrant farmers as a nuisance and a hindrance to them enlarging their own land. The Cattlemen's Association, the Wyoming Stock Growers Association, effectively declares war on the immigrant farmers and gets the state government's blessing. Of all the westerns Chris Christopherson has acted in, Heaven's Gate is his favourite. The train scene was breathtaking. Hundreds of extras authentically dressed for this train that had to be brought over a mountain in pieces and reassembled for a short sequence. The Last of the Mohicans, 1992. Daniel Day-Lewis nailed Hawkeye in 1992's The Last of the Mohicans, based on James Fenimore Cooper's novel. Lewis's exquisitely crafted La Longue Carbine, nickname for the marksman, which translates as the long rifle, and the movie's letter-perfect 18th century siege, faithfully rendered French and British battle flags, and a host of other carefully crafted visuals, raised this Eastern Western to heights seldom seen in cinema. Geronimo, an American legend, 1993. Hollywood has drawn upon Geronimo more than any other Indian leader, even more than Sitting Bull or Crazy Horse. Walter Hill and John Milius teamed up to bring Geronimo's story to the screen in a visually stunning show that, while uneven, paid considerable attention to many fine points. For instance, production designer Joe Alves, under the guidance of Apache technical advisor Michael Darrow, carefully crafted the Apache village, while costume designer Dan Moore made certain both Apaches and cavalrymen alike were decked out in the most accurate film renditions ever released. This included superb field uniforms and even one of the only instances of correct 1880s dress uniforms since the silent era. Ride with the Devil, 1999. The authenticity of firearms and costumes has never been matched, much less surpassed. Bushwhacker or Missouri guerrillas have shown up from time to time in westerns. In Ride with the Devil, however, the young actors look like the young killers they are playing. Long hair, wispy beards, frock coats, vests, cravats, ties, hats of every variety from that period. Multiple revolvers festoon their belts, and the authentic 1851 Navy's 1858 Remingtons 1860 armies are Bowie knife and saddles with pommel holsters. Look at historical photographs of these 16 to 20-year-olds and then see their historical reflection in Ride with the Devil. How did Ang Lee do what no American director never did, or choose not to do? The Alamo, 2004. This movie actually tries to follow the history of the battle, including the associated politics of Mexico concerning the empresario system that was used to bring the settlers in. The actors matched the actual combatants pretty closely in age. Travis was 26, Bowie 40, Crockett 50, Houston 40, Santa Anna 42. The details for arms and cannons in the mission are very close, as well as the dress for the Texans. The battle is portrayed properly as to the time of day and the probable time that it took to occur. Even though this movie did not do well at the box office, I think that is probably because it does not match the popular mythos for the battle. It is a pretty accurate portrayal of what the situation must have been like at the siege. A group of cold, trapped, hopeless men caught up in a situation that got out of control and who received no relief from their friends on the outside. The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, 2007. For one thing, it stayed true to the meticulously researched novel by Ron Hansen. The clothing, guns, and settings were all spot on. The acting was superb, and location settings also very accurate, with the tone of the movie, its characters et al. Gripping. There was no romancing the lives of the outlaws, and the resolution of Bob Ford's life after killing Jesse only served to add to the realism of the lives of those men in that time. Hello to any new viewers on my channel. Thanks for your time today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I appreciate your likes and subscribers. Don't forget to hit the notification button to get my new videos. Share with your friends. Drop me your comments. Bye for now. See you again soon.
Interesting facts about famous people.